Hey there, EXS 132 students. I wanted to talk to you briefly about your exam number 1 results. For those of you who did great on your exam, good job. We had some people score very, very high, so great job to those people. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the short answer and math issues that I saw on the exam. Of course, if you have any issues or questions about any of your specific answers or questions, why you got them wrong, just send me over an email or a message in Canvas. Let's start out with question number 32 was describe the phrase fats burn in a carbohydrate flame. Be sure to use the scientific terms that we've discussed in class. Most of you, if you lost points on this, you lost points because you didn't use some scientific terms. So what I was really looking for was some mention of acetyl-CoA being a byproduct of the breakdown of carbohydrates, and then therefore acetyl-CoA is the key that is going to get you into the mitochondria where aerobic metabolism takes place. The only way we get acetyl-CoA is from the breakdown of carbs. That's why carbs need to be present in order for fats to burn. So I wanted something about acetyl-CoA helping us to get into the mitochondria. Question number 33. Several people missed points on not explaining what the J-shape curve was. So that was the first part of the question. Explain the J-shaped curve and then which individuals are most likely and least likely to get upper respiratory tract infections. So I wanted you to say something along the lines of the J-shaped curve shows the relationship between exercise and how that suppresses your immune system, or just even the relationship between exercise and how that affects the immune system, something about how exercise and the immune system are directly related to one another, and how those individuals who exercise in excess are most likely to get upper respiratory tract infections. The individuals who exercise at a moderate intensity are least likely to get upper respiratory tract infections. So I wanted something like that. If you did not explain the J-shaped curve, you missed probably anywhere between 2 and 3 points, depending on how much you explained further on in your short answer. Question 34 was good. Question 35, the rule for allowing clients to exercise when they have a cold. If you missed points, it was simply because you, in general, is because you didn't list the specifics. So we know that the rule for exercising when a client has a cold is if it's from the neck up, it's okay, neck down, not okay. So if you have any chest congestion, if you do have a fever, if you have any of those like real like tough time breathing, that real like croupy kind of cough, it is not okay to exercise. It is okay to exercise if you have a runny nose, sore throat, stuffy nose, that kind of thing. But the intensity and duration should be decreased. So that was the appropriate answer for question 35. 36 was the big kind of essay portion about Sally and discussing her the 4 energy systems or 4 energy pathways with your client. If you missed points on this, more than likely it was because you did not discuss the fact that either intensity and time determine how you move up and down the ladder, or also that you didn't give the specific time frames for each pathway being used. Your graphing portion to draw oxygen deficit and the oxygen debt curve. I have kind of just a rough draft here that I drew. Let me pull up this one. So I drew a kind of a rough graph just for you guys to see. This is what it should have looked like. You can also look in your textbook on figures 4.2 and 4.3. So that would be chapter 4. And then we did draw this in class several times as well, so you can look back on your notes. But this is pretty much what it should have looked like. So you should have had oxygen consumption. This should be milliliters per kilogram. And then I think my minutes kind of got cut off here. And then our time in minutes. Some of you just put time. You didn't say the time actual label, the unit for time. So you probably lost somewhere around 1 to 2 points on minutes if you didn't put that in there. Okay. We have our resting metabolic rate, when our exercise begins. We have our trained individual curve, and then our untrained individual. The purple shaded area is showing oxygen deficit. The green is showing steady state, and then we have our EPOC or oxygen debt, and then exercise, where exercise ends. Okay, so again, rough draft here for you, but figures 4.2, 4.3 in your textbook, or check back on your notes as well, but it should look something very similar to that. Okay. Then going on for your math, all of the math answers I am posting for you, how you should do your math work. So all the work will be shown for you. It will be in the exam number 1 module as well. So all those answers are there for you. I'd encourage you to look over your math. If you have questions about how to do some math, I am absolutely happy to go over some more math with you. Just send me an email. But overall, pretty good job on your exams. Exam number 2 will be similar to exam number 1. I am going to, since we know it's going to be online, we are going to break it up into a few different chunks. So you'll have your multiple choice as one chunk, your short answer as another chunk, and then a case study as another chunk. I think that'll be a little bit easier for you guys to do, as opposed to having to do the entire exam kind of all in one sitting. So have a great day, and if you have any questions about exam number 1, make sure you just send me an email.